Hey folks, how's everybody doing out there? Hope you're doing well, wherever you're at on this beautiful planet that we call the Earth. Thanks for joining me for today's little informal talk. It's a beautiful morning here, Southeast Asia, coming to you from my studio at an undisclosed location in Southeast Asia. What y'all think? How you like it? How you like the lighting, the audio? I think it works out pretty well. Anyhow, it's a beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. Gonna spend me a couple hours in the swimming pool working on my tan. Been drinking beer all morning. I'm still alive. And so I can't complain about anything. My babies are healthy. Been talking to them a lot this morning, watching them play. Saturday, so they don't have school. Life is wonderful. Life is absolutely wonderful. At least it is for me. And it should be for most everybody. I should say for everybody. If you're alive, no matter what your struggles are, what your challenges are, your financial struggles, health struggles, you're doing pretty good because you're still alive. The dead would gladly trade places with you. And for so many of us, especially from the West, that's something we don't think about enough. Well, I do. But I'm from the U.S., and so I have an American mindset, which was baked into me from birth. We don't think about death too much over there. It's not something that's factored in. You know, you're just kind of trained to worry about your retirement, worry about this, your Social Security. Nobody ever brings up the fact, hey man, what if you die when you're 30? That doesn't factor into our decision-making process because we're programmed to be slaves to the machine. Damn, I went off on a tangent. And I guess the title of the video is going to be, why are there so many angry expats? And I started to say around the world. And maybe that's what I'll title this video. But I guess to niche it down and be more specific, like why are there so many angry expats from the United States living in the Philippines? Let's just call it out. Let me just put it out there. Man, there's a lot of people who are retired that are just fucking angry. And that's what I'm going to talk about during this video. You know, I've done videos from various places around the globe. And the most negativity that you receive and that you'll begin receiving is if you start picking up subscribers from the Philippines. Yeah, I just said it. I can go to Abu Dhabi or Dubai and sit there and make videos for months. Just maybe have a handful of negative comments or not any at all. You go to the Philippines and start making videos, you're going to stir up the angry expats. Angry American expats. Because, you know, I've been posting videos on this platform for over 10 years. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. This is just the platform that I post the videos, the shows that I make. I was making videos long before YouTube was ever invented. So when I was making videos back in made the first ones in the 80s. I wasn't a YouTuber. I considered myself from day one a filmmaker. I'm an independent filmmaker. I just happen to be on this platform, and if YouTube goes down today or tomorrow, you think I'm going to give up? No. Just go to the next platform. But anyhow, I've been posting videos for over 10 years on this platform. And in my experience, a lot of the I'd say the number one place would be from the Philippines. American expats in the Philippines complaining, threatening, yada 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 yada, comes from there. And then probably the second demographic actually comes from the States. And that's what I want to talk about. The Philippines, the reason people are so angry, folks like me who just enjoy their life, is number one, they're miserable, they're broke, they have nothing else to do, and they're just angry at the world. And because they're spewing negativity here, folks, I'm just one of many things that they do on a daily basis to entertain themselves, try to make themselves feel better because their life is shitty. They're not picking on me, it's everybody. So in the second demographic, the negativity would come from the U.S. It's mostly out of jealousy, because they wish they were living somewhere in Southeast Asia or South America or Central America. And for whatever reason, they can't put a plan together and pull it off. And so they lash out of jealousy. Now, if you'll reflect back years ago, when this negativity would come in, I would just run with it. I would just toy with them. I loved when people would dish out the hate because it was free entertainment. Especially, I mean, a lot of y'all don't even watch the videos. You just come for the comments, right? You read the comments. People are different learners. You know, some people are visual. Some people have to have hands-on. Some people like to hear things. So everybody digests these shows, these videos in a different manner. And a lot of y'all tell me, hey man, I just come read the comments. You know, they don't care if they push play or not. They're scrolling the comments, right? They come for the drama. So years ago, I would stoke these individuals and actually started what did I call it? The Hater and Troll Rehab Program. Initially, it was free, but then it became so stressful that I think I started charging. I can't remember, but there was a lot of, just a lot of negativity. It's not so much anymore. And the reason I don't have as much as I used to, because I just start ignoring you. And what these individuals really want, they want attention. They're so lonely, and they're just so angry and upset at their own life that they want attention. And the way they get it is lashing out at others, you know, whether it's me. The nasty ones, typically what they do, they don't lash out at me personally because they know they just get a heart and ignored. But if you post a comment, then they will reply to you and try to invoke a response. And that's the ones I call, pruning the assholes. That's like a daily thing that I do, and I think you need to do, because it lets the algorithm know that you're paying attention and you're helping out with the spam, with the harassment type comments and stuff like that. So it's pretty simple. I go through the comments. If I see a reply, I'm going to click on the reply, and if it's a nasty reply, I check to see when the account was created, and if it's any time recent, you go to the asshole corral, because it's the same guy I banished yesterday. But you have to keep pruning these assholes, because I think it just shows YouTube you're a little bit engaged. Their automated system filters out a lot of it, but you have to put in a little bit of effort to help them out to get rid of this. And a lot of times it's just spam. Make $750,000 a day, some bullshit like that. They pop up every day, so you have to get rid of those. Just spend 30 minutes a day, if that, say 20 minutes a day, just pruning the assholes, right? Sending the assholes and the spammers to the asshole corral. If your comment gets sent to the hell for a review, I don't even look at that anymore. After 30 days, it gets deleted. I don't have time. If YouTube sends you over there, hey, maybe it was okay, maybe it was. I don't even deal with that anymore. So, with all that said, here I am again. I don't script anything. I wrote down like 4 or 5 notes, but it's hard for me to stay on track because there is no track. Everything I do is abstract. It's just coming right out of my head, which is a couple beers help me think clearly. So you deal with this all the time. I've been dealing with it for over 10 years. And then you notice these patterns. And most of the time, I don't want to say most of the time. Some of the times, it's very easy to figure out who these individuals are, who they think they're being anonymous. And it's quite interesting to me because I'm not a computer genius. I'm not Edward Snowden. I know about that much about computers. I was interested in computers since, 1980, 81, when I saw my first computer. Maybe it was 82. I had a Commodore VIC-20 because my family wasn't rich. If you were rich, you could get a Commodore 64 or an Apple II, Apple IIe. I had a Commodore VIC-20 and a half-broken TV. But anyhow, I'm not a genius hacker. But apparently some of you are. A lot of you are. Now let me start by saying I'm not encouraging or directing anybody to do anything illegal or against any of the policies here. I'm just going to tell you the story, what happened. I guess 2018, 2017, anyhow, when there was some hatred and some threats coming in, what have you. And I was messing with them, doing live streams. And it was pointed threats. Like, they knew the hotel I was staying at, provided a date, a time. They were very specific. It wasn't just, hey, I'm going to come kick your ass. It was very specific. And so I did a live stream, ran with it. Come on down. I'm your Huckleberry. Nobody ever shows up. Not from the old school where if somebody's going to smack you in your face, they're just going to come up and do it. Most of the time, they're not going to warn you about it. But this generation is different, right? It's like they have no honor, like we did back in my day growing up. There was honor to certain things that you did. So anyhow, I was playing with these individuals. Some of y'all saw those videos. Hey, you're providing me with free entertainment for my subscribers. Everybody loves drama, right? What sells newspapers or keeps your eyeballs glued to a screen? Flames, smoke, explosions, fights. Humans thrive on drama. So some of you took it upon yourselves to somehow figure out who this one individual was. Now again, I did not direct anybody. I didn't ask anybody. They did this on their own. And there was more than one of you. I don't know if you got together with your fellow hackers or your fellow computer people and figured this out, or if it was multiple subscribers here who you guys got together. I don't know. All I know is that I got an email and said, hey, we know exactly who this dude is. We got his picture, his address. And I replied, I'm like, are you sure? And the guy's like, 100%. And I'm like, well, how do you know that? How can you figure out who this guy is based off of a fairly newly created YouTube account with no content, screen names like, Big Nuts 324, Dragon Slayer, whatever it is, right? That these individuals come up with. I was like, how do you know that? And the guy explained it. like laid out this technical term. And folks, even to this day, I don't know if that information was 100% correct, but the dude laid out a technical explanation of how they figured it out. And they sent me pictures of this gentleman. And this gentleman was probably, oh shit, if I remember right, I would say 38, say late 30s, overweight, you know, just sort of like ratty, unkempt hair. And the gentleman had this very deformed hair lip. I don't know if that's the politically correct term. But that's what they sent me. Sent me his address, everything. Unsolicited. But, you know, anybody can send you an email, right? So, obviously, the information pops up in front of me, and I took a look at this dude. And it was like my heart broke. It just, you know, almost teared up, because then all of a sudden, all of this hatred that this individual had been sending, it all made sense. I'm not talking it was something that you wouldn't notice. I mean, I'm talking if this dude was 100 meters away, you could look and tell. And right then, when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh my God, this poor dude. Imagine the challenges and the struggles that guy has went through for 38 years of his life, especially in school. Kids in America are cruel. We all know that, right? We all either experienced that or were part of that. And I just imagine that kid going to school every day. And I just felt sorry for him. And all of the hatred and everything that he has spewed towards me. I don't want to say I was giving him a pass on his behavior, but I understood it. I understood the why, and I had empathy for him. I put myself in his shoes and said, man, again, folks, I'm not being weak. I'm not saying that I condone his activity, because if the guy was harassing me and the people here on my channel, he was obviously being very nasty to other people too. It wasn't his first rodeo. This is what he does. So I can't remember what all transpired, but I mean, these guys sent me to dudes. I knew everything about him, but all I needed to do, I didn't care about anything else. Once I saw that picture, I said, that's it. I said, they said they could find out. I said, no, stop. Just leave him alone. That's it. It's over. I'm not going to say nothing else about this dude. Because his day and every day of his life has been and will continue to be a lot worse than my day. No matter what the guy said to me, what threats he sent my way. And so that taught me a lot about the demographic of people who are these online bullies, these online haters, trolls, whatever the term is, right? You know, growing up in the 80s, you call them a bully. Now there's haters and trolls. I don't understand the difference between a hater or a troll, to be honest. Trolling, I'm not sure what that means exactly. I got to look it up. I didn't know what swatting was back during that time until one of y'all explained what they were doing to us. So anyhow, it got to the point where for a while there I backed off on doing live streams at certain locations. Not because I was scared, but just because I got tired of these idiots calling management and having to have a conversation with management, you know, explaining to them, hey man, I'm doing a live stream on YouTube. These assholes are just what they do. They just try to cause problems for people. So the people now, a lot of the negativity that say, okay, you're going to retire, say the Philippines, right? And you want to make YouTube videos for something to do. Hey, it's a great hobby, which can turn into a business. It can turn into income generating. All right, it's no joke. Why would you sit there and do this all day on Facebook, work for free, when you could learn how to make YouTube videos and potentially make yourself a little bit of extra money? But if you plan on going and retiring and becoming an expat in a certain country, you may want to kind of feel it out and just to see how nasty the local expats are. How angry they are. Like, take a reading, take a pulse, and decide whether or not that's a positive environment for you to post videos for them. And I'm just going to tell you that there's a lot of angry expats, American expats, living in the Philippines. There, I fucking said it. And so if you don't have thick skin and you're going to retire in the PI, don't start a YouTube channel. Why waste your time? You got your own money, your own retirement. You don't need the hassle. Don't do it. Just live your life off of social media and enjoy your retirement, and you'll have a lot less stress. Throw away all your social media. Never again watch Fox News or CNN or any U.S. newscast, and you will enjoy your retirement. If you continue to watch Fox News or CNN, you'll be screaming at the TV every night. Your blood pressure will be up. And for what? You're retired. You can't affect change anymore. It's over. Does that make sense? All right, so let's talk about some of these folks through the years. And you know, some of this is funny, right? Like, say you get somebody throwing hatred, right? And they'll leave so many comments. And they work so hard. Like I said in a video years ago, these haters and trolls, they actually work for me. And they work for me for free. And when I say that, you know, if you leave one constructive comment, these idiots, they'll leave 20. YouTube don't care if it's positive or negative. It just shows engagement. That's why you don't get rid of them. They leave more comments than anybody. As long as they're not attacking anybody else, they get to stay. If they're going after other people, then I weed them out. I send them to the asshole corral. But as long as they're just messing with me and they're leaving 20, 30 comments on a video, they just bought me the beer. You see how that works out? I want to thank y'all. The haters, the trolls, the deranged individuals. Thank y'all for helping me buy beer. I certainly appreciate it. If you're leaving 20 nasty grams a day, can I request that you increase your negativity to at least 50? Could you leave me 50 comments per video? And at least write a couple paragraphs. You know, just don't go after somebody else and reply to their comment. Just leave a general comment for me. But increase from 20 to 50, and I certainly appreciate it. Certainly. So, anyhow, throughout the years, you'll notice these patterns. They'll leave so many comments that you're scanning through these comments, and it's not rocket science, but it's like putting a puzzle together. You'll start to notice a pattern of who these folks are. So if you ban them today, they pop up tomorrow. It's like whack-a-mole. They just create a new account, pop up the next day. And you know it's the same person. By the way they write, by the tone. Just look at their punctuation. it's easy to figure out, yeah, it's the same person. And what I noticed was funny, and I made jokes about this in the past, that, I'd always say, you're fucking miserable. You're sitting there on your broken fucking Acer with, 5 keys missing. You can't fucking spell words properly because 7 of your keys don't work. Sit there drinking your Calafu, just fucking miserable, hacking away on that fucking 10-year-old Acer with 7 keys broken, spewing hatred at me for no reason. And it's a joke, but it's reality. Because I would sit there and look at these negative comments, and there would be no T's. The dude was, every fucking word that had a T in it, there's no T. And you're like, motherfucker can't spell. And then there'd be like no N's. You're like, then you figure it out. You're like, oh, that motherfucker, he's so fucking broke and fucked up. He's sitting over there sweating his ass off because he can't afford an air conditioner or air conditioning, hacking away on this old ass Acer with the fucking T key, the N key, and the W key missing, and every fucking word is lacking those letters. And you just laugh your ass off. Then you for whatever reason, you send them to the asshole corral. Here they come back with their misspelled words. Just hacking away on that fucked up Acer. Oh my gosh. So anyhow, let's move right along. So yeah, just sitting there on their last leg, big old fucking fat belly, fucking sweating on the goddamn computer because they can't afford air con, fucking up them keys. I'm just painting you a picture of who these individuals are, who you're going to deal with. And they have nothing but time. A lot of them, they're living off of a Social Security check and a small pension, which maybe $1,000 a month. They don't got money to buy a new Acer. That's the computer that's going to be with them until they kick the can. If something breaks, they're over at the local fucking shop trying to negotiate the price down to 200 pesos to fix it, right? With their bootleg copy of Windows. Fucking 18 viruses, right? So, just painting a picture of who they are. I used to think that, and this is sort of why I started that hater and troll rehab program. It was entertaining, it was joke, but in the same sense, I thought I could help somebody. I thought that if I allowed these individuals to hang around long enough, around positive people, myself and the other people that make comments and watch our show, the thought process was if you let them hang around long enough and don't subscribe to their negativity, don't reward them for their negativity, but just let them hang around a group who are into positive vibes, positive things, positive outlook on life, that they would change their evil ways. And maybe throughout the years, I've converted a few. I don't know. Maybe they just went away because they weren't getting the attention. But now I'm almost to the point where I don't know if I helped anybody. I think they just go away because I don't give them the attention that they're begging for. I think that's why I don't have a huge problem like I did long ago. You just don't get the attention. We're not going to say your name. I'm not going to put the link to your profile because that's what you want. You don't get it from me. And so do I think that I converted any of these folks into wonderful commenters? Probably not. Maybe. I hope so, but probably not. They're so fucking angry in their own life and down on their own luck. drinking their Kalafu, drinking their fucking Red Horse because it's got the highest alcohol content. They can't afford to go down to happy hour, even pay happy hour price for a beer. That's how broke a lot of these dudes are, right? And they're miserable. Maybe they started out with a lady when they first moved, and then she got so tired of their ass and their drinking and their craziness that they left. Now they're sitting there alone. And there's a lot of these old guys who are alone, unsupervised, unchecked, but they get a free government check every month. So they got money coming in, right? What they do with it, there's no checks and balances. It's their money, it's their check, but they're suffering from some type of mental disability or dementia, or just flat out angry at the world. A lot of these guys, at some point, or at some point in the past or in the present or maybe in the future, they want to return home to the United States or to their home country, but they can't. And this adds to their misery. There's no home for them to go home to. Maybe they still have family that's living there, still have family that's alive, but they don't want them. Think about it. If you're an angry motherfucker when you left your home country, you left America, your family was glad to see your ass move to the Philippines and get out of their hair. And so if they're thinking about trying to go back, they don't got enough money to just go back. They got to move in with family, do something, right? Family don't want them. Best thing that happened to them was for them to depart the AO and get out of their hair. They certainly ain't letting your ass come back. They're not going to help you because you're too much of a problem. Whether it's your craziness, your drinking, whatever, bad attitude in life. A lot of these dudes, they can't go home. They don't have that option because there's no home to go back to. Where are they going to go? Think they can afford to pay rent, $1,000 a month? Too old to work? Not in the right mindset to be able to work? They're stuck. A lot of them can't leave the country anyhow because they've overstayed their visa to the point that they don't even have a valid passport. And they're never going to have enough money to get straight with immigration where they can leave. They're trapped. They're prisoners. They're going to die there. No home to go home to. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to help them. Nobody's going to help them. Not enough money to get your immigration status fixed. And you don't even have a fucking valid passport. It expired. You didn't renew it. You haven't been renewing your visa for a fucking decade. Whatever your story is. That's some of the individuals too that are sitting around with nothing to do. Nothing to do but go on YouTube, search Angeles City or search wherever you're at, and just start dealing out negativity. Just old, lonely, crazy, drunk, whatever the story is. That's some of these individuals. Do I have empathy for those folks? I believe you're the captain of your own destiny. Timothy McVeigh said that before they executed his ass. You're the captain of your own destiny. That's the way it should be. I'm the captain of my own destiny. I don't blame anybody for anything that's happened to me in life. I made those decisions. And they just didn't get to where they're at by other people making decisions for them. They made their own decisions. That's why they're sitting there hacking away on that Fucking 12-year-old Acer with 3 keys missing. That's why they're overstays. That's why they don't have a passport. That's why their wife or girlfriend left them, or they can't get nobody to move in with them because they're so nasty. The ones with true mental disabilities and issues, that's a different story. But with those guys, who's going to help them? As long as they get that money coming in every month and they can pay their rent, nobody's there to help them. We had a neighbor before, briefly. A guy was living in a place over there, didn't even have the electricity turned on. And every morning he would come out and start screaming at these barking dogs. But he would say, "You better kill that pig." It scared the shit out of you. The first time we're on the balcony, this dude walks out, "You better kill that pig." What the fuck? Ain't no pigs around here, man. Then you quickly realize, oh, this dude's fucking crazy. You look over his place at night, he got no electricity. But apparently he's still getting a check every month somehow. Probably has enough money to pay the electric bill, but just don't, because he's crazy. But as long as he's got that money and he's somehow in his mind enough where he can go get his money every month, he's there. I think that dude was so crazy, he probably had to have, somebody was probably going and getting his money, hitting the ATM for him, maybe helping him out, probably taking half the money. That dude was too crazy to be on an old ass Acer. He was screaming at imaginary pigs every day. And so, I mean, these guys, they sit around, they got no hope, no inspiration. They just sit around on social media and YouTube, spew out their hatred. And it's sad because when they die, nobody cares. There's nobody to notify. They'll notify the embassy, so no family's going to show up, claim the body. They just get disposed of in accordance with local policies, the cheapest way. If they're military, maybe they'll chuck them in the clay over there in the cemetery. Landlord will clean their place out and get their TV, their ref, and that old ass Acer. That's it. End of mission. So that's a strong demographic that you would deal with if you start making YouTube videos in the Philippines, at least in my experience, right? And again, we talked about a lot of them can't leave anyhow. They're fucked up with immigration. They don't have the money, and plus they're scared to even try to fix the problem. Oh, this is the other thing too. A lot of these dudes, they become self-appointed enforcers of rules, policies, etc., local rules, barangay rules. You know, half the day they're on that Acer, spewing hatred, then they're yelling at the TV, yelling at Fox News. And if you walk by their place, they're fucking yelling out fucking Philippine laws that you're violating. There's just nothing positive about them. But you know who I'm talking about, right? There was this dude that used to sit by this sorry store, and he'd yell at everybody going by, you know. Locals come by, no helmet. "You gotta wear a helmet," you know, just sitting up there drinking his Red Horse, screaming at the locals. You gotta wear a helmet, Philippine law, blah, blah, blah. It's old angry American expat. And so most people just ignored him. The trike driver sat there, just tolerated him, right? And he got on me one time about having an open beer. Now imagine, at night, walking down a back street in Angeles City and had a fucking beer in my hand. Another grown man drinking a fucking beer. We walk by this store and this son of a bitch comes up off his stool yelling at me, "You can't do that. You can't walk down the street with an open beer, blah." I'd already had a few. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude here? What's your fucking problem, man? You're a grown man telling another grown man, two fucking tourists, technically we're tourists, what to do. Off your fucking rocker. And I imagine when he wasn't sitting on that fucking stool, he's on that Acer. Can't make a T, an M, or a W. But he gets his point across, right? So, these are the same individuals. Back during the lockdown, and I'm going to tell all the secrets in my upcoming book. But don't look for that book anytime soon. It's going to be about my adventures in the Philippines, but I won't have that thing ready for 3 or 4 years. But I'll tell all the secrets. All the dirt. It's not the appropriate time right now. It has to go in a book. But these are the people who, back during the lockdown, when bars are trying to open up and, try to make some fucking money and let the locals make some money, that we were in there doing a live stream, and these expats would call the brown guy and say we weren't wearing masks or social distancing. And then the brown guy would come raid the bar, shut the bar down until they paid a bribe to get back opened up. These are the type of people that are leaving these negative comments on your social media, YouTube channel, what have you. They're the same motherfuckers that just get pleasure out of causing other people misery. And that happens several times. I'll detail all that. The gloves come off in the book. But don't look for it anytime soon. It's going to take me a while to write it. So, why am I doing this video? I don't know. You read certain comments, and like literally, if you have no topics to talk about, or you're just not feeling creative for that day, folks, all you got to do is throw a dart at a comment, and you can usually make an hour-long video talking about that one comment, what a person said, right? I don't have to go to the news and talk about international events. That's what I like to talk about. Matter of fact, I got to talk about Zelensky, little Napoleon over there. Anyhow, I like talking about international events, current events on an international scale. That's what I really like to talk about. But you can take your local YouTube channel, your one little slice of real estate, digital real estate, throw a dart at a comment, and you can talk about it. And a lot of times there'll be more comments, more engagement on that show than if I go out and go eat fish tonight. Because people love drama. One of the worst things is when you realize that some of the people who are leaving negativity, who suddenly start leaving negativity, spewing the hatred. When you look at it enough, you realize this is a person that I know, that I've met, that I've drank beer with before, and seemed to be a positive conversation. Person who you've given no worldly reason for them to display this type of activity. You're like, wow, man, we drank beer several times together, had good conversation. And now here you are a little bit later on spewing all this hatred. And a lot of it just goes into, folks, a lot of these dudes are older. They're mad at the fucking world. They're drinking a bottle of Califu a day. That Califu is so cheap and nasty. I mean, it's worse than drinking kerosene. I'd rather have a kerosene and Coke than a fucking Califu and Coke. That's my personal opinion. But that's what they got. That's what they do. So I don't know. It's progression of age, more drinking, just more fucking mad at the world. They even lash out at their own acquaintances. I wouldn't say that all these people are friends. I would say they're acquaintances that at one point or another I shared some beers with. And you just wait long enough and here comes the negativity and you're like, wait a minute. Motherfucker, I know you. What's wrong with you, man? What? I ain't even talked to you, man, in 2 fucking years. Why all of a sudden, what happened? I didn't sleep with your ex-girlfriend. I didn't sleep with your wife. I didn't sleep with your ex-wife. Wasn't me. What other fucking genuine reason would you have to all of a sudden be so negative? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But you know what? Here's the thing. That's their problem. That's their problem. They're not my problem. They're not my problem at all. But again, people love drama, so they just provided me with what? How long I've been recording? 30 minutes? Can't see that far. It's too small. Just gave me an hour-long video to talk about. I have another video that I'm going to do to address something a little bit more sinister and more pointed. Those individuals who send basically pointed, specific, targeted threats. I'm not going to include that in this video because it's got to be a little bit more. It'll be a little bit more rugged because you'll get that too. The entertainment game, folks, it's not for the faint of heart. Okay? It's if you just want to enjoy your retirement and be left alone, don't interject yourself into the entertainment business in any way. Whether it's YouTube, posting shit on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans. Just enjoy your retirement. Stay off of social media. Don't watch the news, and you will just enjoy the hell out of yourself wherever you're at. That's my advice to you. Hey, should I start a YouTube channel? No. Not if you're coming over here and you got a retirement, Social Security, pension, everything. No. No. Stay the hell off of YouTube. Folks, I got to go. I got some folks showing up here in the studio at 2 p.m. I want to thank y'all for listening. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Maybe you totally disagree with me. Or maybe you're one of them old angry motherfuckers hacking away on that Acer. You just can't wait. You just can't wait. Your fucking fingers are on fire. You could type faster than me. If only you had the T, the N, and the W. If only those 3 keys worked, you could really express your true feelings here on YouTube. Sometimes I crack myself up. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Thanks for joining me in this little informal talk about shitheads. Peace out.